Sawadika. Japanese Soichi Noguchi is a veteran astronaut having been to space twice. In 2005, he went to the International Space Station with Discovery Space Shuttle, and then in 2009, he went again with the Soyuz spacecraft. He also tweeted from space. He'll share with us his experience. Mr. Soichi, what inspired you to become an astronaut?
Well, I always want to go to space. I'm watching the movies, science fiction, and the going up in space using the rockets really fascinate me. And I studied aeronautic science at university and worked at the heavy industries. And all the time I want to become an astronaut. And I was lucky to be selected back in 1996 as one of the Japanese astronauts.
When you were young, were you an A student in class?
No, not necessarily, but I really loved science, and I really loved the
mathematics?
Athletic actually. But I like mathematics, but the basic thing is if you're interested in something, just stick to it. In my case was science, but physics really fascinates me. So I just keep studying it, and that's what it goes.
So it's science, physics, and mathematics?
Mathematics and athletics, actually. Athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah.
So you enjoy
Yeah, I enjoy all
football.
the football, basketball, baseball, yeah, all those kind of stuff.
How did you get selected to work at the National Space Development Agency of Japan?
Selection was basically open to all the young astronauts and engineers who is willing to go to US and to go through the astronaut training course. And in my case, you need at least a master's degree and work at least the 1 years in the business of science and technology. And then you have to be healthy, and you have to be fluent in English at least. These days, Russians also English are very important, but my days English is a requirement to become an astronaut.
Mm-hmm. How did you get selected to work with NASA?
Once I become astronaut candidate as a Japanese space agency, they have an agreement with NASA to send a new astronaut candidate to Houston and train with American astronaut candidate. So it's like a training class. So I become friends with the American new astronauts. We actually 44 of us, like elementary school class, and we become very good friends over the course of 2 years of training.
Mm-hmm. You train both in NASA in the US as well as in Russia as well.
Right.
Are the technologies more or less similar, or are they different?
That's a good question. It looks a little bit different, and US is always more practical, while Russians is most of the time is very theoretical. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. The US is it's more practical training, means we go to the simulator and act with the actual procedure, actual the tools. So it's really fun to interact with the instructors. And Russians being theoretical, most of the time, almost like professor of the rocket just keep writing all the formulas on the board. I just keep writing and do the math, but eventually, they kind of merge together. The practical way, theoretical way. The goal of the astronaut is to train the person to be ready for all the malfunctions, all the emergency situation. So eventually you need to be practically proficient and theoretically savvy. So in the end, those two will be kind of have the same goal.